Hey guys, absolute Boris here. We had a question. Someone said, Boris, hey, you seem like you like the martial art. Where you learn the martial art? Well, if you ask me or you ask JS, there's many places that you learn the martial art. Really, where he learned the martial arts, he read a book when he's a little boy by Masutatsu Oyama called This is Karate. So thick, this book. This is Karate by Masutatsu Oyama. And then JS to take the lesson from L.C. Collin in Bloomingdale at the East Tennessee Taekwondo Academy. I think that's what it's called these days. And he take from various schools. He take Ron Irwin downtown the Kingsport on the Broad Street, up the stairs that way. He took some lessons then as well. He learned there when he's 4 or 5 years old because his brother take the lesson. He learned how to count in Japanese. Ichi, ni, son, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, ku, ju. Then he read the book. He watched the Bruce Lee movies. Bruce Lee, of course, was a Wing Chun Kung Fu. Very good at the weapons this way. Very good. So he also read the book called, in Japanese, Goren no Sho, which is the Book of Five Rings, and it's by Musashi Miyamoto or Miyamoto Musashi. He watched the movies Toshiro Mifune is in and Kurosuke Nakamura, and he learned different techniques, not just from watching the movie, but from reading the book. Reading the book, the Book of Five Rings, tells you step by step, individually, how to carry yourself with a sword, with two swords, against one opponent, against many opponents. The stance you take, the most basic of those would be something called stabbing the face. So you hold pretty much your bogato or your sword with this, pretty much with these two fingers. The rest is very loose. You hold it in front of you. And the most basic move is called stabbing the face. And all you need to do is take one step forward. Now when you practice Musashi's technique, you walk naturally. You don't take like a fencing stance and scoot forward like this. You walk naturally. So if you're stabbing the face, you merely take the step forward. You merely take the step forward. There's the same as stabbing the heart, stabbing the face this way. Now Musashi was known to carry two blades like this. We'll say this is a blade, this is a blade. This is a katana, this is a wakizashi, or a short sword this way. Two swords carried this way here. So Musashi oftentimes would carry two swords. Okay, and he would use like this kind of pattern here. And later in life, he would not hurt his opponent, though his opponent was trying to hurt him. And something Musashi did when he was younger, before he's perfecting his technique, he's what's called a shogyoshi, or a student of the sword, and he wanders the provinces of Japan, accepting all challenges. And he is robbed, or attempted to be robbed this way. He owns nothing, but they tried to rob him anyway. You could read this book that JS and Hisashi Maeda, or Maeda Hisashi, just released. It's called it's called Under the Sun, the Miyamoto Musashi story. It's written as a children's book. It's available right now in English. We have a French translation and a Japanese translation that will come out before Christmas. And a gentleman in Italy has offered to translate into Italian as well. Under the Sun, the Miyamoto Musashi story by J.S. Moore and Hisashi Maeda. Anyway, back to the swordplay. They're in the show. Okay. So, the martial art, this way, is a combination of Aikido. Aikido, where you're using your opponent's momentum against them. So say they use a similar technique, but they're kendo. So they have one sword, and they do the stabbing the face this way. Well, what you do in Musashi's technique is, you will block one, you'll block, you don't leave yourself open because you have your other sword here. Okay? Now, after you do the block from their stabbing the face, you do the block this way, you can either come back up, okay? It's not leaving you open, by the way, but it's a fluid motion. You want to be the attacker though. So your block, And from the block, you can attack instantly too, because you are closer to your opponent's body than your other. This is more for defense though, or if you'll have more than one opponent, this way. Never let your opponent get behind you. Always keep them to the front, and always look at their eyes. Look at their eyes. Their eyes will give up where they're going with their attack. And you don't want to look where you're going with the attack. You want to use your peripheral vision this way. But the fancy things I'm doing is not, it's counterproductive to dueling this way and to self-defense this way. You want to do basic moves, just the basic moves. Now you can, from a distance, you can be all fancy and things, no problem, so easy. But in a real situation, do only what's needed, no unnecessary motion, and end the fight as quickly as possible. Okay? Anyway, where JS learned the karate? Who knows? Maybe you should ask him, but he's a good teacher. He teach me, and my name is Boris, Absolute Boris. I would like to thank you for tuning in today, and we love to answer these questions. Just to send them in, we're more than happy to. I wish I had got to talk to my hero, Robin Williams, before he gone. I wish I had got to talk to Robin Williams, he's star of the Moscow on the Hudson, to ask a similar question. Robin, you're a good guy. We're gonna miss you. And everybody who watched this all the way through, 7 minutes, thank you so much. God bless you. Have a good day.